Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary, over many a quaint and curious volume of forgotten lore, while I nodded, nearly napping, suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently rapping at my chamber door. "'Tis some visitor," I muttered, tapping at my chamber door. "Only this, and nothing more." Ah, distinctly I remember, it was in the bleak December, and each separate dying ember brought its ghost upon the floor. Eagerly I wished the morrow. Vainly had I sought to borrow from my books surcease of sorrow, sorrow for the lost Lenore, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels name Lenore, nameless here forevermore. And the silken, sad, uncertain rustling of each purple curtain thrilled me, filled me with fantastic terrors never felt before, so that now, to still the beating of my heart, I stood repeating, "'Tis some visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door, some late visitor entreating entrance at my chamber door. This it is, and nothing more." Presently my soul grew stronger, hesitating then no longer. "Sir," said I, "or madam, truly, your forgiveness I implore, but the fact is I was napping, and so gently you came rapping, and so faintly you came tapping, tapping at my chamber door, that I scarce was sure I heard you." Here I opened wide the door. Darkness there, and nothing more. Deep into this darkness peering, long I stood there wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. But the silence was unbroken, and the stillness gave no token, and the only word there spoken was the whispered word, "Lenore?" This I whispered, and an echo murmured back the word, "Lenore." Merely this, and nothing more. Back into the chamber turning, all my soul within me burning, soon again I heard a tapping somewhat louder than before. "Surely," said I, "surely that is something at my window lattice. Let me see then what thereat is, and this mystery explore. Let my heart be still a moment, and this mystery explore. 'Tis the wind, and nothing more." Open here I flung the shutter, when with many a flirt and flutter in there stepped a stately raven of the saintly days of yore. Not the least obeisance made he, not a minute stopped or stayed he, but with mien of lord or lady perched above my chamber door, perched upon the bust of Pallas just above my chamber door, perched and sat, and nothing more. Then this ebony bird beguiling my sad fancy into smiling by the grave and stern decorum of the countenance it wore. "Though thy crest be shorn and shaven, thou," I said, "art sure no craven, ghastly, grim, and ancient raven wandering from the nightly shore. Tell me what thy lordly name is on the night's Plutonian shore." Quoth the raven, "Nevermore." Much I marveled at this ungainly fowl to hear discourse so plainly, though its answer little meaning, little relevancy bore. For we cannot help agreeing that no living human being ever yet was blessed with seeing bird above his chamber door, bird or beast upon the sculptured bust above his chamber door, with such a name as Nevermore. But the raven sitting lonely on the placid bust spoke only that one word, as if his soul in that one word he did outpour. Nothing further than he uttered, not a feather than he fluttered, till I scarcely more than muttered, "Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before." Then the bird said, "Nevermore." Startled by the stillness broken by reply so aptly spoken, "Doubtless," said I, "what it utters is its only stock and store, caught from some unhappy master, whom unmerciful disaster followed fast and followed faster, till his songs one burden bore, to the dirges of his hope that melancholy burden bore, of never, nevermore." But the raven still beguiling my sad fancy into smiling, straight I wheel a cushioned seat in front of bird and bust and door. Then upon the velvet sinking, I betook myself to linking fancy unto fancy, thinking what this ominous bird of yore, what this grim, ungainly, ghastly, gaunt and ominous bird of yore meant in croaking nevermore. This I sat engaged in guessing, but no syllable expressing to the fowl whose fiery eyes now burned into my bosom's core. This and more I sat divining, with my head at ease reclining on the cushion's velvet lining, that the lamplight gloated o'er, but whose velvet violet lining the lamplight gloating o'er she shall press, nevermore. Then methought the air grew denser, perfumed from some unseen censer, sung by seraphim whose footfalls tinkled on the tufted floor. Wretch, I cried, thy God hath lent thee, by these angels he hath sent thee, respite, respite, and nepenthe from thy memories of Lenore. Quaff, oh quaff this kind nepenthe, and forget this lost Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here or shore. Desolate yet all undaunted on this desert land enchanted, on this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aden it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels name Lenore. Quoth the raven, nevermore. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked upstarting. Get thee back into the tempest and the night's Plutonian shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak from out my heart and take thy form from off my door. Quoth the raven, nevermore. And the raven, never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon's that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadow on the floor. And my soul, from out that shadow that lies floating on the floor, shall be lifted nevermore.
Oh, don't you get any ania, you sloppy pig, have a more ravioli. You will get roly-poly, a knife in the beak like your cousin Luigi. Luigi, Luigi, capiche paisan, capiche paisan, capiche paisan. La lasagna, la lasagna, la lasagna, la lasagna.
dinero. Soy marinero, soy capitán, soy capitán, soy capitán. Bamba, 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 bamba. Ba-da-da-da-da, bamba, ba-da-da-da-da, bamba. Necesito una poca de gracia, una poca de gracia. Arriba, 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 arriba. Shake it up, baby, now. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, baby, now. Come on and work it all out. You know you twist so good. You know you twist so fine. Come on, come on, come on, baby, now. Let me know that you're mine. You know you twist so fine. You know you twist so good. Come on, come on, come on, baby, now. Let me know that you should. Well, shake it up, baby, now. Twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, baby, now. Come on and work it all out. You know you twist so good. You know you twist so fine. Come on, come on, come on, baby, now. Let me know that you're mine. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Now that I can dance. Watch me now, hey. Work it up, baby. Just a little bit slower. With a little bit of soul now. Like a mashed potato. I can do the twist. So tell me, baby, do you like it like this? Tell me. It was a teenage wedding and the old folks wished them well. You could see that Pierre truly did love the mademoiselle. Another young monsieur, madam, rung the chapel bell. C'est la vie, say the old folks, who go to show you never can tell. They furnished out of the apartment with a two-room rub-up sale. The cooler rating was crap, TV dinners and ginger ale. And when Pierre found work, the money come and work so well. C'est la vie, say the old folks, to go to show you never can tell. got no kick against modern jazz. Unless the time fades too damn fast, lose the beauty of the melody. Just sounds like a symphony. And just give me the rock and roll music. Any old time you choose it. It's got a bad feel, you can't lose it. Any old way you use it. It's gotta be rock and roll music. If you wanna dance with me, if you wanna dance with me, if you wanna dance with me.
Please heed the call. Don't stand in the doorway, don't block up the hall. For he who gets hurt will be he who is stole. There's a battle outside and it's raging. It'll soon shake your windows and rattle your walls. For the times they are a-changing. It is cast. The slow one now will later be fast, as the present now will later be past. The order is rapidly fading, and the first one now will later be last. 'Cause the times they are a-changing.
I was 21 years when I wrote this song. I'm 22 now, but I won't be for long. People ask me, when will you grow up to be a man? But all the girls I loved at school are already pushing prams. I loved you then as I love you still. Though I put you on a pedestal, they put you on the pill. I don't feel bad about letting you go. I just feel sad about letting you know. I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for a New England. I'm just looking for another girl. I don't want just looking for another girl. I love the words you wrote to me, but that was bloody yesterday. I can't survive on what you send every time you need a friend. I saw 2 shooting stars last night, I wished on them, but they were only satellites. It's wrong to wish on space hardware. I wish you'd care. I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for New England. I'm just looking for another girl. I don't want to change the world. I'm not looking for New England. I'm just looking for another girl. Looking for another girl. Looking for another girl. Looking for another girl.
On Sunday I go driving in my motor car. Where do you go? I take a little drive, a place I like to go. People always take an interest in my motor car. What do they say? How much they like my car, and I of course agree. It's such a lovely feeling every time I hit that open road. What's the time? Got to go, 'cause my Toyota is fantastic. Beep, beep, yeah. My Toyota is fantastic. Beep, beep, yeah.
brainiacs finally figured out that we live in multiple universes. A billion stars afar, but really, what quantum mindfuck is that? Are you ready? Knock yourself out, freaky.
None at all. Elvis was a vegan. Dylan never got stoned. Alice was known as Vincent. Bowie was just Jones. Michael looked like Michael. Keith drank only juice. Madonna was a virgin. And Ginny played the flute. Sequels.